You're listening to the Teens for the Nation podcast. Let's get right into this. Hey guys, welcome back to the Teens for the Nation podcast with your host, Cade McLemore. We are on episode 2 of My Story, a wonderful series just talking about teenager stories and what they've gone through and what Jesus has taken them to. It is going to be a wonderful series, and as episode 2, let's bring out a very special friend of mine. I have Mr.
Aaron Leger.
Mr. Aaron here today. He's a dear friend of mine. I've known him for forever, my entire lifespan, and probably going on. We're going to start this off kind of funny as always. You already know the routine. We're going to start it off with an icebreaker. The icebreaker today, Aaron, is what is your go-to shoe brand when buying a new pair of shoes? What is your go-to?
Oh, that's a I don't know, honestly. Whatever fits, honestly.
Whatever fits.
That's just honest. Whatever fits. Whatever feels comfortable, whatever looks good. I don't really notice the brand.
So I'm not a huge Nike fan. However, that's the most recent pair of shoes I bought is Nike. I am definitely 100% an Adidas kind of guy. I love Adidas. The next pair of shoes that I'm going to get, I just saw them the other day. They are a really nice pair of Pumas.
Oh, I do like Pumas. I do like those.
Yeah, they're really nice. And so that's what I get. So just whatever fits, basically.
Pretty much, whatever looks good and fits.
As long as it looks good, I guess that's key. Well, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Icebreaker was short. That's good. Well, Aaron, when did you first accept Jesus and where?
Oh, I don't remember the exact time or the date. I was very little. Probably, I want to say years ago. Still when C-Kids was a thing, way back in that day.
Church.
I don't really remember much other than JC just setting me down and asking me, if I wanted to accept Jesus, and I was confused, so he had to explain the whole thing to me.
Well, just kind of like every guest that I've had on here, it's always been a kind of and this is kind of what Noah had said on the first one, you kind of accept Jesus.
You don't really understand.
You don't understand until you get to be 13, 14, 15, 16.
Sometimes even later.
And then you make the definite decision and understand. And, I don't remember which one of the guests I had, but they said it wasn't your parents' decision. It was your decision. And so I think that's kind of like me, because I fell away big time. But anywho, well, speaking of falling away, the next question is, have you ever fallen away from Jesus?
Yeah, definitely have.
I think we all have.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of being a Christian. You don't always, you can't always follow the path. Sometimes you're going to go off a little bit, but as long as you go back on the path, that's all that matters.
Yeah, because Satan will throw
as
random
long as you get there.
Roadblocks and stuff.
Doesn't matter how you get there as long as you do.
Yeah. Well, question of the day. What makes you want to follow Jesus?
Just the fact that he created me, he saved me. He's there for me in every waking moment of my life. Yeah.
Well, that's good. I think that when we accept Jesus, we take on almost a responsibility, actually, because that locks you into going to heaven. You accept Jesus. He died on the cross for you. He gives you that gift to go to heaven. One of the things that I like to ask, it's never on the paper, but when you accepted Jesus, what was your initial thought? Were you adamant about it, or was it just kind of like, I think I need to make this decision? Or where was your head at when you made that decision?
You mean the first time originally, or when I made the definite decision?
When you made the definite decision.
I was like, yay, I'm not going to hell. I'm not going to burn forever.
I like it. That's a good statement.
Yeah.
Well, that's. I will be honest with you and to the audience. That's exactly how I was when I rededicated my life. It was definitely like, you know what? I'm not going to hell.
Feels good moment.
It definitely was a feel good moment. Well, that's good. I'm glad. The next question kind of ties into something. I kind of explained this on the last one with our wonderful guest, Mr. Gavin. When we ask the question, "What has Jesus done for you?" that is very much asking about your testimony. Now, you don't have to share a lot, but the question is, what has Jesus done for you?
Well, he, first of all, probably the most important, he died on the cross, saved me of my sins, and he gave me a loving home when I didn't have one.
That's awesome. And is that it?
He's done a lot of things. I could sit here for hours and explain, but
Yeah.
then, you know,
Then we'd run out of time.
it'd get very boring fast.
Yes. Well, that's good. Well, I'm glad that you can at least recognize that Jesus has done something for you, because one of the things that I tell a lot of people that don't believe in Jesus is that whether you see it or not, he has done something for you. Even if maybe it's saving you from getting hit by an asteroid or something as crazy as that, you know. But he's working every day. This is a question I like to ask. Kind of ties into the series that we did last time. Do you have any thoughts of going into the ministry?
Yeah, I actually do.
That's cool. Well, do you mind sharing a little bit about that, or?
Yeah, I feel like, I kind of feel like pulled to kids ministry, especially, because I feel like kids are the future. They need to be reached, before anything else, because if we reach the kids now, they'll be able to tell the future generations. And, kids are easy to... They are kind of hard to work with. But that's the fun part. Once you do, get with them and connect with them, then it's like, they're like your best friends.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to explain.
No, you're good. Kind of as I explained, I think in either the first or second episode, that first season, God really brought me to the children's ministry area. And I learned that children are great to work with. Now, I've heard people say that they would rather go work in a sewage plant than deal with children in children's ministry. But I enjoyed it. I still enjoy it because I still do it. But I can definitely say for somebody listening that's never gone into children's ministry, it is not for the faint of heart. You might want to have a heart of steel and maybe some armor and protection on. But anywho, children are wonderful to work with. All honesty, I would not want to work with my younger self. I would never, ever want to be with myself in a room for an hour and a half to 2 hours learning about Jesus, because that would be fun.
I agree.
Well, is there anything that you want to tell anybody going through some trouble stuff, or something that you've gone through that maybe you don't want somebody else to go through the same thing? Or
yeah, a good thing to understand is God is a forgiving God. You can do the smallest things and he will still forgive you. For no matter what you do, he will forgive you. So don't, be upset that you did something small, because he will still forgive you for literally anything you've done or anything you will do in the future. That's why he died for you.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad you said that, because some people really think that when you've messed up that it's just the end of the world. Like God is a dictator, but the thing is, he's loving. And I've had conversations with a few friends, and this is what I tell them. If God is love, why wouldn't somebody that love you not forgive you? Because if they don't, then that's not love. I hate saying that because that may hurt somebody's heart, but that's not love. Love is forgiving. That's in 1 Corinthians. First Corinthians, is it 13? First Corinthians 13, something in about, but love is patient, love is kind, love is forgiving. And that is a very, very key thing that, actually one of my favorite verses in the Bible. But anywho, well, based off of what you shared about yourself, what would you want somebody to get from your story?
Um, God is there for you. He's there for you when you're down, no matter what you're dealing with, you're going through. He's there for you. Don't beat yourself up about it. He's gonna pick you back up and put you back together.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, as we conclude today's episode, why did you want to be on this podcast?
I feel like the podcast itself is just a great way to reach, people around the world and just spread the word of God, to places we can't be physically. It's just a great idea in general, because, going places is always hard, funding and especially the places you're going to is hard, but just being able to do this from the comfort of your own home while also being able to reach people around the world is just, it's awesome. And especially sharing God is just what we're supposed to do as Christians and as believers.
Yeah, well, it's really awesome. Well, as we conclude this episode, filming this at 1:30 in the morning. Also, fun note for you, do not ever film a podcast at 1:30 in the morning. It is definitely not for the faint of heart. But thank you so much, Aaron, for being on here. I really appreciate it. We definitely will probably have you on again some other time, so be checking out for that episode. Thank you so much for listening, guys, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Goodbye.